Let me ask you a question. Do you sort and recycle your trash? If the answer is no, imagine instead of waking up and looking out your window and seeing green grass, you saw trash everywhere, like pop bottles or candy bar wrappers. This is what could happen if you choose not to recycle. If no one wants to recycle, our landfills will eventually overflow and there will be nowhere left for the trash to go. Recycling is not only important for protecting the environment, but also our health and supply of natural resources. How many of us recycle? Unfortunately, the answer is simple: not enough. There are plenty of excuses for why people choose not to recycle, such as it doesn't make a difference, I'm too busy, or maybe even it won't affect me if I don't recycle. But are any of these reasons really justification not to do it? According to DoSomething.org, Americans make more than 200 million tons of garbage each year, which is enough to fill the Busch Stadium from top to bottom about twice a day. It's estimated about 75% of all that American waste is recyclable. However, only about 30% of it is actually ever recycled. RecyclingRevolution.com states that over 1 billion trees worth of paper are thrown away each year, and the amount of wooden paper that is tossed is enough to heat 50 million homes for 20 years. The more we recycle, the less trash that ends up in our landfills and incineration plants. The trash that does go to the landfill also causes damage to our environment. A landfill in Miami, Florida, polluted a lake to the point that it became uninhabitable to the fish that lived in the lake. And the decomposition of waste in landfills produces methane gas, which can kill the vegetation in the area. The waste that's also burned in the incinerator plants gives off pollution in the form of greenhouse gases, as a contributing factor to global warming. As we are living in modern day society, we are consuming resources faster than they can be replenished. Without recycling, we will eventually run out of raw materials. However, there is a simple solution. You can separate your trash and recycle what you can. When materials are recycled, it conserves energy, reduces air and water pollution, reduces greenhouse gases, and conserves natural resources. According to bgm.stanford.edu, Seattle economist Jeffrey Morris estimated that it would save about 3,000 kilowatt hours of manufacturing 1 ton of office paper with recycled products versus producing it from raw materials. Also, a ton of soda cans made with recycled aluminum saves an amazing 21,000 kilowatt hours, which equates to about a 95% energy savings over using non-recycled materials. The Steel Recycling Institute found that steel recycling saved enough energy to power the equivalent of 18 million homes for a whole year. Recycling reduces the waste sent to landfills and cuts down the pollution and harmful effects on the environment. The benefits of recycling go on and on, but if we want to preserve our world for future generations, we will have to make changes to our lifestyle, and recycling is a great place to get started with that. If everyone were to recycle, it would significantly reduce the carbon footprint on our environment. According to an article by Lori L. Dove, a carbon footprint is the amount of carbon dioxide and other carbon components released into the atmosphere that are responsible for climate change. Recycling produces enough raw materials and sustains the environment for future generations. We can also expect to see a reduction in the cost of goods due to a decrease in manufacturing expenses. And it also helps create new well-paying jobs in the recycling and manufacturing industries, which helps to boost our economy as more of our own materials being reused and coming from here in the States versus purchasing new fresh raw materials from overseas. If everyone recycled, we could expect to see our health benefit in several ways as well. Often materials we don't need and are wrongfully disposed find their way back into our household. Raw and untreated sewage from industries and hotels, if discharged into water bodies, becomes hazardous for all living organisms. If the water is used for cooking or agriculture, it can result in the spread of disease, such as pneumonia or typhoid. Plastic bags that are also disposed of improperly create fantastic breeding grounds for mosquitoes, which could result in the outbreaks of malaria. Recycling is not always about being charitable. Another great benefit of recycling can be financial gain. Many recycling centers will offer you cash in return for your recycled products, which could include things such as steel, copper, aluminum, old newspapers, and even some plastics can be sold to recycling centers in return for cash. In order to make these changes that need to take place, we'll have to start making changes to our own lifestyles first. When considering making a purchase, first consider buying a product that can be recycled, such as a glass jar or a tin can, or those types of products. A styrofoam cup or styrofoam products can sit in the landfill for over 500 years before breaking down. And when they do break down, they just become smaller components of the same product made with the same chemicals. And when animals eat that, those chemicals can be transferred into the ecosystem and cause more damage in other areas. Next, when you're ready to recycle an item, look into recycling collection methods in your area. Many places offer curbside collection, drop-off centers, or deposit and refund programs. Many items that you may not commonly consider as recyclable items, such as cars or couches, motor oil, batteries, may very well be recyclable. A great way to research recycling facilities near you is a website called search.earth911.com. You just log in and then you punch in your zip code and the type of material you want to recycle. It would be hazardous waste or an old cell phone or pretty much anything, and it'll locate the nearest location for you to drop off the item. In order to make a big difference, we all have to work together, starting today, to recycle and ensure the Earth's longevity for many years to come.